What up, guys? Kevin here. You're looking at the 55-inch version of the Sony X90K I bought the other day. Told you I'd give you an update because I did have the 65-inch. Absolutely loved it. Bad reflection, though, and dark corners. That was really my only issue, but at that time, didn't really think too much of those two flaws. Now I got the 55-inch and told you I'd give you an update on it, see if everything's still lined up, because I have an issue because, you hear about the panel lottery. I was going to say laundry. How each, from panel to panel, may be different. Sony TVs, pretty much the same. They all look great. But this one flaw that I had with my 900E and even my 810C here to the right, which is, you can't see because it's dark, they all suffer from dark corners. I don't know if it's an LED or LCD thing, but 2022, Kevin, I think has had enough, because you'll see it here if you can make it out. But the dark corners on the 65-inch were absolutely there, but it's the 65-inch. Like, for me to really notice the dark corners, I would have to literally tilt my head up and go, oh, I can see it there, I can see it there. 55-inch TV, which I don't mind the size, I'm taking in the whole screen. As you see, I'm pretty much right where I game at, about 10 to 12 feet away. And yeah, the dark corners 2022, to me, I don't know if there's any way they could fix it, but the more they add more features like gaming features, up the brightness and everything on these televisions, that is one thing that needs to be taken care of first. Like, I'm going to keep it real. I love this picture. I love how bright it gets. It still gives me wow moments. It still gives me the wow moments. Like, look at that umbrella when I'm gliding. That thing just popped, and it's just so bright and vibrant. And it's in game mode. This isn't in vivid mode or even standard. I just love Sony's processing, and I love this TV, just how bright it gets. People have issue with the blooming. I don't. I can put up with the blooming. The blooming just doesn't bother me. But the dark corners are really starting to bother me. The other day when I unboxed it, put it up, I'm like, ooh, the corners are dark. Well, the 65-inch was dark. But as I'm putting more hours into this TV, and I'm like, wow, I spent $1,099 on sale too. And maybe the more I spend, the more I'm looking at everything under a microscope. But I don't need a microscope for these dark corners to really bug me. They like really do. To the point where I'm going to say it, and people who got mad at me like for returning the C1 to get this television, I may go back with the C1. I just might. Now, I like Sony's processing, so maybe I'll wait for the A80J to go on sale. I think the 55-inch is on sale, but I think I'll wait for the 65-inch. Because, I mean, I have an issue with how dim the OLEDs are, and worrying about burn-in, but I figured I'd much rather have a uniform picture and just give the OLED test. Just give it as long as it lasts. Basically, hopefully at least get a couple years before either burn-in sets in or something new and better comes out. Because so many people love the OLED that I think it's just one of those things, if you just isolate it by itself. My issue was when I had the C1, I have the 810C here, and I will have, YouTube playing, and I would just be looking at my 810C going, wow, that picture looks brighter and it pops more than the LG C1. And that's a much older, cheaper TV to my right. Yeah, I just want to keep it real. The sound, though, way better on this TV than the 65-inch. The sound is great. I love the sound on this television. It doesn't get bassy, but my God, this looks so good here. This picture looks so good. This makes me want to put up with the dark corners, but I just can't. I got a 55-inch TV, and the dark corners pretty much makes it a 52-inch TV. And you may be looking at it and going, And they don't look that bad. I mean, trust me, when you got such a great picture, 99% of the picture is great, but just those corners really make it go, ugh. You know what it reminds me of? I had the phone, the Nexus 5, um, back what, 2014. That was like the best picture on a phone I've ever had. It was just a regular LCD screen, and it was definitely edge lit. Like you could tilt it and see the edge littiness. And I remember after that phone, I got the Nexus 6P, which was an OLED. And that picture, I mean, right away looked amazing. What a great screen. That phone broke and I was getting it fixed. So I had to go back to my Nexus 5, which I still thought the screen looked pretty good for an LCD, but just seeing that edge littiness, the edge light, just made it feel cheap, and it just really bugged me. Like it never bugged me before, but now it's bugging me. And the dark corners for me in 2022 is now an issue because they were there on my 900E. Seems like a lot of the TVs that are not OLED have a dark corner issue. And I think that's something that really needs to, be taken care of. Of course, the blooming. I don't care about the blooming, but the dark corners is just really, really starting to annoy me. And I ain't gonna lie. My next video might be the return of the C1. I don't know. I keep looking at the QN90A just because it's much cheaper than the QN90B, which I hear has some backlight issues where I guess it stops working or something. I don't know what's going on there. But the QN90A, people say it's a great TV. The picture just looks off. The blues look a little bit green. I don't know. I don't know about it. So I think it's time for me to go to OLED. I think what I'll do is, if I do get an OLED TV, I won't do my dual TV here because that will just make me go, wow, I missed the brightness of a regular LCD. And, try to break in that 100 hours and go from there. Now that's a hassle. I'm tired of returning TVs, and I'm sure Best Buy. You know what? They opened up a Best Buy outlet. I think it's for like open box stuff. They probably did it because of me. They're probably like, yes, we got more inventory for that Best Buy outlet store. But yeah, basically, love this TV. The dark corners is just really, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it. And it's not even in bright scenes, even in dark scenes, because it's not an OLED, and the blacks are still, can be somewhat milky, but the corners will look OLED black just because of how dark they are. So it's not like, oh, it only happens in bright scenes. It goes both ways with the dark corners. They're dark in bright scenes, and they're even darker in dark scenes. So that's just really it for the Sony X90K. Love this television. I don't know. If it really doesn't bother you, I think it is a great TV. But for me right now, I'll just have to see. I don't know what I'm going to do. And it's not just like the very tip of the dark corner. Sometimes it goes down pretty lengthy, like a good few inches, I've noticed. Yeah. I don't know. I just want 100% just uniform picture. And I think you can probably only get that from OLED. Maybe OLED has some other issues. I know some may have like banding or, of course, burn-in, but I don't know. I will, if I get an OLED, maybe I'll get the Total Tech from Best Buy. It's like $200 a year. Ugh, that's a lot of money. The thing about warranties, you either got to be a person that gets a warranty on everything or gets a warranty on nothing. So I know people that get warranties on every device. Me, I just don't get a warranty on anything. And the one time where something breaks, it's like, crap, it broke. But all the money I save by not buying the warranties, I'll just go ahead and buy a new one. But I've been pretty good lately with my tech. And that's why, whenever you buy something, yeah, put stuff under a microscope in your return policy. Go, that's kind of bothering me, but you don't want to wait till you're out of your return policy or your return window to go, wow, that's really bothering me, but I can't do anything about it. Now, Best Buy here, maybe they can if you talk to a manager. They did that once with me. I returned something out of my window and they were able to exchange it. I think they were able to exchange it for like store credit. But, all right, anyways, that's it. I'm done. Still a great TV. Still might be the best to me personally. LCD, LED TV, even though it's like, no, the UAG, no, the X90K, no, the TCL. I don't know. I just like Sony's processing, and that's where I'm at. But yeah, I might be looking back at the C1. I think right now it's just staying at a very low price. Just say, hey, Kevin, just do it. Just do it. Because I did buy it last year. If you remember, I think I have a video or two on the C1 last year. I really liked it. So maybe I just didn't get, maybe something was wrong with the C1 I got because it looked very dim. It looked very dim because I've seen videos where it doesn't look that bad. But then again, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I need to be? I need to be just one of those people that just buys a cheap, $200 65-inch TV. And you're just happy with all the flaws because you got something so big, so cheap. I need to go back to being that person. I'm just too much you just know too much. You just know too much. And that kind of breaks my rule of like, hey, if you get a television, you're going to watch a lot of TV. Get the best TV you can get. Same with like a mattress, vehicle, you name it. Anything you're going to be using for not just hours, years. But it seems like people buy the cheap, the Samsung, the like $500 65-inch Samsung TV, and they're happy with it. I think my friend bought like a 65-inch Samsung TV for about $500. He seems to like it okay. He has no issues. That's where you want to be at in life. You don't want to be like me. You don't want to be like me. As I get older, I'm just too busy. This is just dumb. It's just dumb stuff to keep going back and forth. The TVs, it's so hard. They're just so big. Like even with PCs on the channel, it's like I could try it out. I don't like this. I can just pack it up and send it to UPS and print out the label there and they'll take care of the return. Here, it's like you got to pack it back up. You got to... Is this where? No. I died earlier. All right, I'm rambling now. I'm done though. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Later.